not the correct format. You have a lot of anger in this room. This is not the format. And I have been a civil rights activist since age 11. I remember the mass meetings. This is too much control. Yes. You cannot control and herd human souls. It's like herding cows. This is not the right format. Now, if you want to talk about a right format, we can do it right now. Yes. We can do it right now.
This is a regular meeting.
No.
This is a meeting.
But give people what they want. Give people what they want. That's what's wrong with this country.
You need to shut up. You need to shut up.
This is nothing but control.
This is a meeting.
I don't care what you say. We are mad at it. We're ready to tell this.
We are.
You need to shut up.
We are all
Don't tell me
upset.
what you think.
How long did it take you to get upset? Months.
Have you signed this to speak?
Shut up.
Okay.
Yeah, it's nothing.
You already heard what she had to say. She was all over the media.
I appreciate that.
Are you ready for an eruption?
Sir.
Are you ready for an eruption?
Give way to the people.
I kept telling people.
Give way to the people.
I kept telling y'all.
That's what it's about.
Hey, listen. I don't care what life is now. I don't care what you do right now. Say the serenity prayer in your heart. Say the serenity prayer.
We don't always follow the Robert's Rule of Order. You haven't.
Let these white. This is our.
So let's do this.
That's exactly what they told police.
I hear you. I'm going to say this. I know why you're here. The man said it. I know why you're here. We are. We want to hear.
Tired of the bullshit. Stop it. Stop it.
My God, sir.
Because I feel the same way.
She was supposed to have taken care of that when you shot that
Sandra.
Go ahead.
Hey, yes.
And shot that up, and we back here because you allowed your officers to do this. You were saying that somebody called y'all and said I had drugs and money. Y'all do this, y'all allow these people to do this. And then the man said we gotta make a count every night. We are held accountable and you get mad at them when they don't make their count. But you paid that man that shot my godson. His head laid out in the street. Did you pay him? Did you tell him that you said that his hands and ankles
It's like
were
this.
shot?
At the end of the day,
Tell me not to say
Not
what
to
I
mention
said.
that.
Still on the
Still
ground.
on the ground.
Still on the ground.
And you still ain't paying.
They do this all the time. They do it all the time. They do it all the time.
Shut up. Shut up. Shut up. Shut the fuck up. You know what?
at the end of the day,
We're here for a reason.
when I lose my title, when I no longer sit council in the city, I'm just like y'all. I got to go back home. I got to do what I got to do. Just like everybody else. I don't want to hear you listen to one of y'all. I don't want to give y'all opportunity to speak. I feel your pain. I feel the struggle. I understand. I'm fighting for you.
You know, he's an old man.
Why don't we deal with the format? Deal with the different format.
Let's go ahead and get the public out.
Right.
I want to give people the microphone.
That's it. We don't want to hear nothing.
You got a microphone over here. You got one over here.
You gotta change this. You gotta change this. system while we're here.
Let's do it. Let's do it. Come on.
When is it gonna stop?
We need to hear, because right now what I feel is
I'll go to the mic. No, I can't. I'm tired of being tired. That's what Fannie Lou said. You can't stop me now.
Please let me talk this a little bit.
all right, this is it. We got yes, give me just 1 second.
Am I blocking your way? Okay, good.
We need to talk this song. See, this is what happens when you come to our neighborhood and you don't do what you need to do. This happens.
Here's what's going to happen.
I don't know, sir. Please, sir.
We already got each other. We're going to respect you. We have a time limit. That's a time limit.
You are no longer asking you to move away.
We're gonna give you 3 minutes, or if you got some other people to see it down to you.
Dolores has 10 minutes.
It took more than 3 minutes to do what is done in this city.
We're gonna give this
It
young lady
takes more than 3 minutes to
Ladies and gentlemen, can y'all hear me? Can y'all hear me? I need this mic down. Thank you. Look, let me tell you something. I'm just as mad as y'all are. I'm out of tears right now. Because let me tell you something. We didn't come here today. We didn't come here because of Mr. Rush. We came here because of this system. Okay? We came here because of this system. We've been here before. We're going to be here again. Because just like before, thank you, Mr. Hope. But right now, they're here. What I'm telling you is, we have been here over and over and over again. This system, you know what? We can blame everybody on this stage, but guess what? Every last person on this stage is part of the system. We have been obliterated as black folks in the city. Don't think we're human beings. Let me tell you something. Mr. Rush is not the issue. The issue is the human rights issue. The issue is because we've all been beat down. We have all been obliterated. We have all been talked to like dogs, trash. We're not valued. We have no voice in this system. That's what Asheville is. They believe in tourism. They don't believe in the people who make this city run when tourism does it. That is the issue. This is the issue we're faced with. So let me tell you something. A lot of y'all are here because y'all read a Facebook post. And it's good to see white folks, but I'm more glad to see the black people here. Because we have something to say. And nobody ever heard us before. And I have white folks that go to see the time to every black person in this room that needs to talk. You don't hear us, right? Y'all don't hear us. And what I'm telling you is, Chief, we tried to work with the police department. It hasn't worked. We've been through de-escalation. We've been through REI. We've been through all these trainings. Look what happened. Mr. Rush is just an isolated incident that happened because somebody said something. And nobody reported that, and nobody did that. Guess what we did? We'll be in the dark. Business as usual. Nothing will happen. But guess what? You got a house full of fellas. Woo! Well, now we're back here again because what? Everything we said to y'all fell on deaf ears. It's not going to work. It ain't going to happen. And it's not going to be today. But guess what? Now we're here today. What are you going to do? We got elected officials who don't answer to us. No. We have a city manager who, where the hell is he at? Right
Nowhere to be found.
Where the hell is he? Huh? Where's the assistant city manager? Can't you buy in the house? Where's she at? Where's the secretary for the city manager? Where's the DA at?
Where's Todd?
Where's the DA? Where's Todd Williams? Where's his assistant? Where's his secretary? Because they all have assistants. Where's those people at? You know what they did? They left these people right here to be scapegoats. Yep. You know what they did? Because guess what? I can't afford to leave here because it's nothing to afford to leave. All I can do is, I can't own a brewery. I don't work at hotels and they don't pay enough. All we're doing is living towards the system. This is not about police brutality. This is about a system that's brutalizing us all the way through. That's what this is about. So until we get real about the brutality in this city, it's not about police brutality. The police have been brutalizing people since the beginning of time. It's called slave patrols. Okay? That's where the police came from. It's called slave patrols. No offense to y'all. Y'all wear a badge because somebody think their authority to wear that badge because we're white and we didn't have human rights. What happened was we became a product of that system. Until we could get ourselves free, economic freedom. We're in the South Side. These people are holding a meeting in a black neighborhood. They're trying to tell police. That's real talk. They tell police and how we feel. I can see so many black people up in here who have been obliterated by systems of oppression, and then they tell us we got 3 minutes to talk about it. It took 400 years to get to this place. So what are we talking about? What are we talking about here? We're talking about slavery. This is slavery. This is why we're saying that we need to abolish the 13th Amendment. Yeah. It's a human rights issue. This is a human rights issue. Until we get rid of the prison to the slavery pipeline, we ain't gonna be talking about nothing else. So I'm tired of talking about police. What we need to be talking about is the Geneva Convention and human rights. We have a city that's talking about equity. What's equitable about getting beat down on camera for jaywalking? What's the equity in that? There's no equity in that. We're talking about we're a progressive city. What progress we tell tourists to come here, but black tourists got a face getting beat down on Biltmore Avenue because you're jaywalking. They didn't know who he was, really. All they knew that he was a black man breaking the law. Well, white people do it all the time. I hope not all you white folks. But you in our neighborhood right now, mad because of what? We need y'all to show up where it counts. Y'all showed up at the voting booth, but look what you voted for. See, I'm going to tell you something you don't want to hear, because I keep it real every day. My name is Dolores Venable. I work for Black Lives Matter. I'm the one you've been looking at. Let me tell you something. It takes a lot of guts for somebody to call me up and say you're wasting taxpayer money to look at me and other activists when you ain't looking at the officer who did this egregious crime. Yeah.
Well,
he should have been charged from day one. Why is it when white people are sorry to come to black folks, the black church, and say, we so sorry. We didn't mean to. We keep on doing the same thing over and over and over again. We are tired of this nation being ashy, y'all. I'm telling y'all, each and every last one of you has said the same thing. How much does it take? How many of us gotta die? Where do y'all feel like when y'all, because I'm gonna tell you something. If you don't put your hands on me like that,
bad, you know, bag of soap.
I'm gonna rather die, because let me tell you something. You ain't gonna put your hands on me like that. No. I'm gonna tell you that. And that's the problem here in Asheville. You're afraid right now, that cop, that dirty savage, that nasty thug you had employed, you know what he did with black men here? What he did was set a precedent. What he said was, you know what, you can fight or flight. Let me tell you something. You ever run up on me?
I want to hear what everybody else.
My mom about to bury me. You know what? See, time. Anybody got some time?
Hey,
you can have my time, Dolores. I got time. There we go. So that's the time. Let me tell you something.
I'm not trying to cut you off, but I do want to respect everybody else.
I want to respect the fact that the one thing these people came for is because I brought them here. So let me tell you something. I brought them here because the one thing that they know that I know is police brutality. I got 4 black black men right now that say Ashland Police Department are aggressive against them. I got a black man right now that said they held him in custody for 4 hours in handcuffs in the back of the police squad car. Bigger than you, taller than you. Think about getting in handcuffs for 4 hours in the back of the squad car. You wouldn't be comfortable, and my big ass ain't either. That's being real. So with that being said, we need to keep talking about this, y'all. The one thing that we have against us in this black community is we never came up like this. We never cared. We got, you know what? The action is when we come up to these white folks and tell them how the hell we feel, that's the action. Yeah. The action is being real with who you are and taking it to the streets where it needs to be. And let me tell you what they're scared of us for is because they're scared that we might take it to the streets don't mean nothing though. Why would we burn down our own cities? That's what they want us to do. What we need to do is take their damn money. We need to mess with their tourism. We need to mess with their systems. We need to mess with their industries. Because the only thing that we don't have, what they do have, is some money. We ain't got nothing over here in the South. We're broke. We're poor. Our kids don't have education. They got the lowest education systems in the state. See, everybody's ignoring what's going on. They use this as a ghost point. Mr. Rush ain't the only black man this that happened to. Man, we can call a lot of names. He's just the reason why you found out. Don't get fooled. Don't get fooled by shiny things. You know what I'm saying? The only reason why we're talking about this now is because you found out about it. So real talk is, we've been going through this over here in the South for decades. Decades of this. So we need to really rise up as a people. We need to really talk about what's going on. Now real talk is, I'm going to tell you what's going to happen. Either they can charge this man with a crime or...
We got to let somebody else talk.
I just want to say this.
Make me sick.
Unlike Fannie Lou, I'm tired of being tired.
Time to get tired.
I wrote the article just the other week in Mountain Express, No Apologies. And I really agree with you, Dolores. We're tired of white folks saying we apologize.
Yes.
I reject it. I reject the sorry. You are sorry like the other word, the other meaning, sorry. I refuse to have apology in my vocabulary. The word that I think is more important starts with an A.
This is the shit that I'm talking about.
It's acknowledgement. It's acknowledgement. When you acknowledge, and if we can get in the spirit of acknowledging where we are and who we are,
you don't run this.
and it might take white people going back into their history.
Yes.
It might take, instead of white people trying to come and find what black folk talking about, it might take white people facing each other, calling each other accountable. It might take white people going into these so low-down racist ass churches that hold the bulk of the Republican and Democratic party.
That's right.
And on Monday morning, get up early and go into the courthouse and make laws against us. Maybe we need to start visiting those churches. Right, before you come on the other side of the railroad track. That's where you put us, you know.
Yes.
Before you get there, you got to cross the white churches in the courthouse.
That's true.
And I remember
I know. You can't
back in the day,
but you know it's easy.
a black preacher would preach on Sunday morning.
Yes.
But Monday morning,
I'm tired of being.
and I'm saying it to black ministers too, or other ministers.
Huh?
Monday morning, you found every minister at the courthouse dealing with our black boys.
Yes, indeed. Yes.
Who had been jailed over the weekend.
Yes.
Why don't we return to that?
Yes.
Instead, we've been talking this diversity for 50 odd years.
Yes.
I ain't interested in no diversity.
That's right.
I'm interested in my own blackness.
I know that's right. Freedom, brother.
Every time I wake up in the morning, I say hallelujah to my blackness.
Lord.
Okay? And what has happened, diversity teaches a different way. And it teaches
shame these devils.
Look like kids
Tell the truth, shame the devil.
to hate themselves
shame the
because they are on
another
frame of reference. So all I'm saying, maybe instead next time, instead of calling, when black folks say we gonna meet, maybe y'all need to meet on the other side of town.
Yes!
And y'all need to call some bigots and some racists to y'all feet.
Yeah.
You know, you got some great uncles there. You know you got some grandmothers that still hold.
Look how they looking at him.
Okay? And let us, instead of trying to put together, we've been trying for 50 odd years, and it ain't working. Every time people say, you know, well, we'll come a long ways, but put a T behind, another T behind that but. Okay? So instead of trying to put it together, I think white people, start with your offices and go into their background.
Yes.
Go back!
She needs to start with herself.
Go back!
She needs to start with herself.
And see how many were KKK.
Okay.
That could be a prerequisite.
Look, see this is
So
what
how
white did. That's what they put motherfuckers.
So white people got a lot of work to do.
Police.
Now always come to us. What's wrong with y'all? Ain't a darn thing wrong with us. Ain't nothing wrong with me, and ain't nothing wrong with you either. Hold it.
You know what I'm saying? I need some brothers.
Amen. We gonna have a good thing. Come on, next person. Look at it. Let me finish. If you want to get something started,
Yeah.
and if you want to solve some issues, I'll tell you what.
Give up the money.
We need
Reparations.
to dialogue. Black folk need to start talking.
That's why I did this today. That's why I did this today, brother.
Black folk need to
That's why
start
I made
talking
this happen.
and dialogue.
That's why I did
And
it.
every now and then we come together.
See how you doing here? Like he in the church.
Amen.
Usher him off the
And
stage.
I might have to
Y'all ain't the only ones who's on the
Okay.
This is what it says.
I can't come here and freestyle like my sister, my brother did. So I had to rap. So I wrote down what I want to say.
All right, because I told
I'm saying it in a minute.
Amen.
Bear with me. Bear with me. Okay, it goes like this. Another month, another year, we find ourselves in another room at another Cpac meeting, discussing the never-ending issue of the black community, abuse and injustice. Throughout all these meetings, our issues and concerns exit mind as soon as the room's clear. Well, before this room clears tonight, what's said shall stay in mind of those that earned their living, making decisions that affect the entire community.
I made this happen on purpose.
As a member of the community, I'm fed with the bamboozling.
That's what I'm talking about. 6
Promises of transparency from our police chief are only transparent when someone's hands is on the cookie jar, or when things start pointing, who did this and who did that. Only thing transparent is that black people in Asheville continue to be omitted from the radar of equality and justice. When there's no justice, there will never be any peace. No peace of mind, no peace in this city. That be our situation. It's way past time to dismantle the good old boy machine and put people into place that are progressive thinkers that are inclusive of everyone in the city of Asheville, not just the state. That good old boy machine consists of those that are in a position of upholding the oppression of the black community and do nothing to repair it. Also, those that will participate in the cloaking of and injustice perpetrated upon the black resident of this town. Someone stated to me that we're continuously fixated on the figureheads. Well, it's not the figurehead that bears the sole responsibility when a person's rights as a human being are violated. Folks need to sit with the tea and realize that we're no longer your property to do with it as you please. And that we will no longer accept being treated as such. We have a machine that's broken that demands immediate repair. If not, it should continue to gather rust and erode. No more spraying WD-40 on the park and on parks that need replacement. The city manager, the mayor, vice mayor, district attorney, police chief, police captain, and any members of the city council that continue to live your company lifestyles and not hear our cries and bleed our blood for equality and justice have to go.
Have to go. That's it.
Have to go. We can disrupt this tourist haven town with marching and protesting, but we'd rather have the shaft removed from the wheat and have a product that's edible for everyone that lives here.
All right.
Most of you, I think, know me. I'm Al Whiteside. I'm a long-term resident of Asheville, Buncombe County. I've lived here all my life, other than when I was in college and in the Navy doing Vietnam. I feel your pain. I know what you're saying. But let's go back. 30 years ago, they poured in the paper and I counted wrong. 30 years ago, I know they reminded me of what it's like to be driving black in Asheville. When I was driving with my wife, at that time, one daughter, and the police stopped us looking for drugs. Now, think about this. It was about 4 or 5 of them, and one of them standing there who didn't say anything. I had financed a car for him the week before the bank. Think about it. So that told me early on what some think of black men in this community. But we have got to do something about it, folks. We can't just wait until something happens.
That's right. That's why we're here now.
Since I've been on the county commission, I'm one of the loneliest men in the county because I'm there fighting for us, and I look out in the audience, where are you? You know, where are you when we were talking about hate crimes, a resolution for that? Even though I got a 7-0 vote on it, and all of the staff. But we've got to start doing this all the time. We've got to participate. You know, when I look at this, the people up here, you all should be up there.
We should. We can't get there. We can't get there.
Thank you.
They will not.
Let me finish now. I think we all need to respect each other. Now, let's talk about this. And I agree.
They pick the Negroes they like.
I agree with all of you. One, I don't understand why the DA didn't bring charges.
He didn't want to. He's a white man who don't want to. It ain't the first time.
How it happened.
Hey, you see the man's wrist?
I'm sorry, Tammy, but I can't understand.
Because he don't want to. And they all knew about it. Thank you.
And look at him looking like, you all have been sitting there for years.
Not doing a damn thing. But fooling us.
We don't do anything.
Don't do nothing. And we can fix them this.
Let's talk about some legal issues here. We got to start with our legislature. How many of you are familiar with House Bill?
All of them, I know. Every last one. I've been fighting on behalf of the people for too long, and nobody hears us.
Okay, 972 gives them the right to keep these videos away from us. It started in Rock, but I don't care what we say about this bill, but it comes back to doing the right thing.
Exactly.
You know, I'm a firm believer in, and I wouldn't be on the county commission if I didn't believe in being a servant of the people.
That's right.
About the politicians.
Teach the Ashland City Council to do it.
You put us in office and we represent you.
Exactly.
And it's up to us to do the right thing.
That's the county, though.
I know. Look,
that's the county.
During the civil rights era, I was arrested 14 times and never stopped counting. So I've been there. I've been in jails in Durham, Atlanta. I know what we need to do when it comes to that. But now it's time. We're no longer in the 60s. We're in the 2000s.
And we ain't taking this no more.
And it's time to cut out. We don't need to hear any more talking.
Right. Right.
Right. We need to sit down to the table and we need to take action.
And we
need to come up with a plan to ready.
And we need to let everybody,
the
people that can be able to do it.
let everybody.
Come into room like this again. Folks, I'm 73 years old, and I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired.
Exactly.
What's happening to black men? I have 2 grandsons who live here. You know, I don't want to see what happened to one of my grandsons or to your sons, or to me, even me and you, Marcel. We're something, you know. But we have got to do something about it.
Yeah, and I'm glad they're being nice about it too. I mean, they want us to talk to them a certain way and everything, while they're killing us.
Hello.
Well, I think in order to be a good politician, it's one thing you got to do.
I'm not a politician, I'm a citizen,
No,
and
I'm talking
and I'm
about-
tired of being nice about it.
I'm
and
talking
polite
about-
it.
I'm
Fire
talking
the damn
about
police
them.
chief. Fire the DA.
That's
I mean, that should not be happening. They knew better, and they did it anyway.
Do they know better?
There's
question.
no excuse for them, okay?
Do they know better?
Ignorance of the law is no excuse.
Well, let me
Too far. We let
Enough
them
is
get too
enough
far.
already.
We let them get too far. That's why I did this tonight. Now we're tired. That's why I did this tonight. I meant to do this. I ain't sorry. I ain't sorry what happened. I meant to do this.
Do you know that the officer that shot Jerry is still on the force? He's still being paid? Woo! Okay. Get rid of the police chief.
This is Ashland Black Lives Matter right there, y'all. Thank you.
I mean, but nothing has changed. It hasn't changed. It hasn't changed. It hasn't changed none. It hasn't. I'm Jerry's godmother, okay? I know it hasn't changed. I mean, I stay in housing. I stay up here in Walton. And I love my place where I stay. But every time there is a cop, give you an example. A couple of nights ago, my son came to see me, okay? 3 cops came behind him. CJ, what did you do? He said, Mama, they tried to say I'm speaking. Do you know what your cop done? Let me show you, because I got it on video. Your cop came up to my son and said, you need to learn how to talk to somebody.
Come on now.
You don't tell my son that. I'm standing here. I'm his mother. He know how to talk to you. You talk to him the right way. Then you put your hand on the gun. You put your hand on the gun because you said that my son did 50 coming up this hill. I don't have to, I don't know what my son did or not. But it didn't cause for 3 of y'all to come behind him and then one of you to say, teach your son how to talk.
Thank you.
What are you being taught? What are you being taught? Be respectful. If you want respect, you give respect. I've been, and when he put his hand on that gun, do you know what I saw? I saw my godson laying there. I saw the same thing. I hit my son to make him shut up.
Yeah, because you're scared.
I had to hit him.
Feel.
Do you know how that feels? You wouldn't. I mean, I'm not saying. You don't know. But for my child, this is the second time he's been pulled over for something stupid. You know, there was an incident one time before, back during last summer. He got pulled over because he was riding through a neighborhood over here in Erskine with a hoodie on.
Like Trayvon.
Come on now.
What was he doing wrong? Can you tell me what was he doing wrong? Because he was riding through Erskine at 12 o'clock at night because he got off. And they said that, well, most people out here selling drugs or looking for drugs at that time. My son has graduated from school. He has a job he's been working since he was 15. Never been uptown. Thank God I got 3, ain't never been uptown. Okay? But for you to disrespect him and assume what he was doing, did you ask him? They didn't ask. You just assumed. Don't assume that every black man, and do you know why they run? Because you treat them like that. You treat them and you make them feel like they need to run from y'all. You shouldn't have to feel like that. You shouldn't. I was sitting down in Greens a couple of nights ago. I see one cop. They getting ready to mess with somebody. Sure enough, I see 3 cops pull up. Go over into the park. Sit there and look at them like they were dogs or monkeys on a vine. Didn't arrest now one. What are y'all doing? You might even have me on video when I say, are y'all harassing them because all of them boys are sitting over there at one time? They pulled off. It's not fair. It's not fair. That's all we're saying. You need to teach them respect. That's right. Don't make them meet a quota every night before they have to come in. Respect. That's all we ask. Respect.
That's it.
That's all I want. And about the bottom, how many times do y'all look at them? Do y'all look at them every night, or just when someone reports that something's wrong? Do y'all look at them every night?
You're supposed to. You're supposed to.
I mean, nobody's answering. Are y'all supposed to watch the video cams every night?
That's what policy is. Anytime there's a use of force, it's supposed to go all the way to her desk.
It's supposed. You spend all that money on them cameras and you only watch it when someone comes and complains?
Or you watch an activist. Or you watch us for
by who?
So they watch us for nothing.
They watch them randomly. It's randomized.
You need this one? Give her that.
So bottom line, Tammy can't control her department, but she shouldn't be in her job.
Many videos get watched every day, and then in addition to that, videos when there's not an incident involved, like a regular call for service, they get audited by supervisors and also audited by the technology.
Well, how did y'all miss this?
How did this man's video go unseen for 58 hours? How can you say you had to review 58 hours of his video footage?
How did this one get missed and it took a year?
It didn't get missed, man.
Well, oh, so it was just, you know about it.
Because it's impossible to fire a police officer.
You just said in the paper the other day, you just said in the paper the other day that you had to review 58 hours of that man's body cam footage that you hadn't seen.
I don't know what we had seen or not. We did everything.
Oh, no, you didn't.
Oh, my goodness.
See, that's a lie.
Oh, so now we lying. Oh, so I guess the people that reported that you said, I guess they lying. Everybody lying except for you. Come on now.
I brought these black folks here for a reason. This is why. They can't answer a question if they move to police. There's no answer for this.
Well, why was nothing happening before now?
You can't answer these questions.
Why did it take 5 months for us to even know?
You see why I did that?
Because we weren't supposed to.
They got all these niggas Warren be told. Everybody says they don't run this hood, man. We from the South. They don't run shit over here. Man, we would have put some of these bitches out of here. That's what I'm talking about. Agreeing with these motherfuckers. That's why they ass don't fail. See, they lie. I gotta go. I can't deal with lies. My mama don't make lies. I came here for a reason. I told you that, Mom. I ain't playing with these people no more.
An answer or answers are owed to all of us.
Huh? They fucking us up. We owe them an answer. Really? Are you serious?
And it seems to me I would offer as
this is a system of corruption. This is pure corruption.
Cpac to recommend to City Council that City Council appoint
and any organization that rents space from these city fucking places, they're corrupt too. We need to start renting this shit. You don't need that. It wasn't done right.
Yes,
I we about to stop all this.
And there are lots of contradictions.
Stop calling policing!
Well, I'm going to finish, so thank you. But do you want to know? I want to know.
Stop calling policing!
People who have the answers are not here. And so how we get the answers, we're here
to calm the public down.
That ain't never gonna happen. Enough is enough already. We've had it.
This is a
You've been to enough Cpac meetings to know that there are some steps if we choose to take them.
And every time we have chosen not to.
Let's give the mic back to community members. Let people
Cause you in our hood. This is the South. You in our hood. Y'all came here for a reason.
You stay right here.
Y'all came over here for a reason. And don't told police us. And anybody who try to do it, we gonna call y'all out too. Forget your job. Your job ain't gonna protect you. Your job don't even like you. Your job don't like you. Mr. Peterson. Mr. Chris Peterson in the house.
I know the truth. I know the truth.
Chris Peterson's in the house.
I know the truth.
No, you don't like it.
And if you don't like the truth, you don't want me in here. And I'm gonna tell you.
No. There was a black woman waiting in line. Don't jump the line.
Chris, you know what? Real talk. They need to hear you because you're the only white man who combated their asses.
And you know
they need
what?
to hear you.
We're
They
gonna
need to
worry
hear
about
you.
it tomorrow.
They need to hear you. And call me a Republican lover.
Ms. D, excuse me for a second. There's other people in the room that need to have
That's
something
true.
to say.
You talking to me. But you know what? Talk to me later. No, Chris. Stand right where you at.
Wait a minute.
Stand right where you at.
Created all of this behavior.
You know what? No, he didn't. But you know what? He put money in the room when nobody else did. No. He put money here when nobody else did. All me. And she live in the damn hood, snitching. Girl, bye. Girl, bye.
This is what I'm saying. Can't nothing get done if we keep talking and yelling and cussing and
Overfeed me.
over one another.
We tired of fucking talking.
We tired of fucking with y'all white people doing shit. Overfeed me. You see what I'm talking about? She coming to me. Come to me outside in the parking lot. That's what I'm talking about. Get me in the parking lot. I beat this bitch ass. Stupid as hell.
My APD as being a Hillcrest resident for 13 years. I've had him to come to my house and walk into my house, and I didn't even call him.
Because you're a snitch.
Pulled me over numerous times just because my ID says 36C Hillcrest Apartments.
Because you out here telling them dope
I
boys.
wasn't able to answer your questions yesterday, a couple of days ago, Chief.
You telling them dope boys up.
When you asked me
All these housing
about
authority people telling them dope boys. And then you up there scared.
and reporting what had happened. I did that. I reported every incident the whole time that I stayed in Hillcrest, and it so happened to be that they didn't even recall my name. They couldn't even find the report that the complaint that I had filed. So,
man, what the hell?
the point that if you be quiet, you'll know what the hell I'm talking about.
You don't. Be quiet. No, you be quiet too, because we can go out in the parking lot any day.
There is a serious movement that has to happen within your department.
This is why I don't fuck with most black people. That's why I don't fuck with government. I don't fuck with the grant.
Keep us oppressed, to keep us under experiencing this type of racism. It's structural racism. And
you're a structural racist yourself.
And the whole way that it's going to be
I see her. It's a problem.
The vice mayor, Jackson,
what she did,
all of them,
other than the police department telling on people.
Rewrite these policies and have community members at the table when rewriting those policies.
And they fuck us over. They want to work with, pick and choose what Negroes they want to deal with like that. That's true. I ain't got time for this bullshit. I ain't come here for this shit.
That I'm tired of coming to these type of meetings and all we hear is all this screaming and hollering back and forth.
Yeah.
And we leave out and nothing's accomplished.
Nothing.
Nothing.
Well, they can't do anything.
We go away until something else happens, and then we come back.
Man, I need to go out in the parking lot. Excuse me.
That's the reputation we have in the community. Let them come in,
control myself.
let them jump up and
control my
down the
mouth.
street and
Because
shout.
I control your fucking head.
And go away until something happens again.
Like I said, meet me outside.
First of all, when we come in, we gotta learn to respect one another.
Why not? They don't treat us with respect. Why should we treat them with respect? No. Respect is right. Okay, excuse me.
Another thing I'm trying to say is, I grew up in this community. And I'm not,
Well, I'm from New York and I'm not used to tolerating white people treating me like shit.
happen with me. But there is a process.
Yeah, but white people set up for you.
And if you're inside the city, then you go outside the city. That's what I'm saying. I'm just jumping up and down and screaming like somebody crazy because I can get you anyway. Period. Now, on another note, I want to say, yeah, what happened was bad. I agree.
It was bad.
But the police, all police officers are not bad. Just like all community members are not bad. And if we be true and honest with ourselves, I'm going to be true and honest with myself. I had a son that was out there and he was out there. Okay? He was out there. I was embarrassed to see how he was acting toward the police. And I understood why some of them do because I would do it.
I want to smash her face.
Now, was it wrong the way we saw on that video what happened? Yes, that was wrong. And there needs to be some accountability. But the one thing I heard, I just want to ask, and I think it would be clarification for everyone so no one will walk out of the room with miscommunication. Now, in the report, Chief, it stated that the officer resigned. Tonight, we heard from someone who spoke that the officer was still on payroll.
She didn't say it.
Will
It's
you
another
please
officer.
clarify
It's
whether or
another
not
officer. She ain't got the
not being
facts.
paid or is still on payroll?
That was another officer. That was a rapper.
Yeah.
That was title rapper.
The officer resigned. He is no longer a member of our agency. Okay, and I want to hear everything that everyone has to say tonight.
No, you don't.
I'm not here to make excuses or say anything to try to change what you have experienced in this community. All right? I would really appreciate that we could just let everyone have their turn because I think there's a lot of people that want to express their outrage here. Okay? And when it's all said and done, just like every time I have been ready and willing to come to the table with whoever wants to do the work needed to get us past this.
Oh, come on.
5 rappers there.
So,
Action speak louder than words, baby.
He was in the
let's try
right.
to get everybody an opportunity to stay with their
He was in the
Whatever.
But in finish, I just want to say to the community, can we, as a community, and we don't have to have with anyone up here on this stage, can we come together volunteer to help us and lead us and guide us. Because coming back and forth to these meetings like this, screaming and jumping, we're not going to get anything accomplished. Nothing's going to change.
Because they looking at
That's all I ask. Can we come together for once
doesn't matter
and come up and strategize on what we want to see change and press forward in trying to make it happen? Thank you.
And what does accountability look like?
Why did you not come out in the beginning with it? Mayor, y'all are advisory board. Where are the people that we really need to talk to that can hear us and make
City council meetings on Tuesdays.
The really reason why we need to be here is not just
So then, the city council need to meet with us. Well, then they need to meet with us then. Instead of all these damn closed door meetings and shit, meet with us.
Coming to the meetings, you know what I'm saying? We need no justice. So there's them some more evaluation. Wow. You got the chief and the mayor.
Let's get this lady a chance to say it. Go ahead. You need to speak.
My name is Dewanda Young Tanner, and I was born and raised here in Asheville. I've been gone for about 35 years, but the thing that really...
With the mayor.
The thing that really is disappointing to me is the fact that you allowed the world's black greatest female athlete to come to this area knowing that you had those tapes. After 35 years of me coming home, the only thing you really have to offer me is high dollar rent and brew.
Well,
this is supposed to be the land of the sky, and you almost shut down to bury Billy Graham. Why hasn't the tape been nationally viewed? And I understand that we want to control, as a black woman and as an educator, for some of the children who will see this that has been in my presence, seeing that videotape and being born and raised in Asheville is the reason why I am who I am. Don't ever mistake unintelligence for passion. I have a nephew that's less than 2 weeks old. When I went to the hospital, he was the only baby that wasn't opioid addicted. So, you know, let's go ahead and show the United States what the land of the sky is about.
Really? Yeah.
That man was lured like a child to be beaten.
Yeah.
He was lured like a child, and the rookie officer urged it on. Go back to the tape.
I've seen it.
At the end of the day, when I came tonight with my sister, I expected resignations. I didn't expect tell me how I should feel.
Exactly.
I left Asheville as an 18-year-old girl like I was leaving apartheid. I knew how I could be treated, how my parents were treated, and if we have the kind of actions that we have with the police department, understand that it's going on in social services, it's going on in all the medical care we can get. Are we getting the best medical care? Because it seems like our skin color is slight. I understand that you have a Hispanic translator, but when I left Asheville, Asheville didn't have any Hispanic. But what I'm saying is that wasn't a Hispanic man being
that was a black man.
You know, did you really look at it? Could you really stomach it?
No.
Could you really stomach it? Does that man have a concussion? And here we are today, and we got somebody standing on the podium, and he's armed like we're gonna get him. I saw one version. We all saw one version. Right before we came tonight, all of a sudden, it's another version. and speculate on how somebody else is supposed to feel. You know, I've been here, and it seems like to me, Ashland doesn't clean up to tourist season. It's trash everywhere. And what I'm saying is, what this beer that you let people brew costs, most of your workers don't even make that out.
Nope.
We didn't need to brew no beer.
Gotta know.
As a kid, I went every year to the Billboard House. Now I can't afford to go to the Billboard House. You know, you talking about it was some lead in Asheville High School? Come on. I mean, nobody seems to be in charge. But when you go to other parts of the state, the Billboard House, Asheville, over 35 years of living in Durham, when people would say something to me about Asheville, the first thing that I would tell them is, there's not a lot of people that look like us. My son was supposed to come visit 2 weeks ago, and something in my spirit told him not to come. My sons have worked since they were 15, 16 years old. They like nice things. But why would I have them come here knowing they could leave here with a record? Just because.
Money and power are in charge in the United States of America.
That's it. Does it work?
Oh, all right.
Is yours on?
Yeah. My name is Roberta Peston. I'm a proud citizen of Asheville. I'm also a proud social worker. And so I got two questions. The first one is, to me, kind of all of the apologies kind of fall on deaf ears if we're actively investigating who leaked the video. So, what protections is City Council and the Asheville Police Department going to enact and provide for whistleblowers and people who make the right decision? The first question. The second question. So I was going to let you answer that one, and I'll ask my second one.
We want to have everyone have an opportunity to say what they want, what they're feeling, what's going on. I'm going to respond to your question, but I'd like to say this is not a
Answer the question. That's all it is.
We're not investigating. That's the answer to the question. We're not investigating.
Okay, so the officer who leaked the video will have no reprimands or disciplinary action, correct?
What I'll say is that we are not going to investigate that.
Okay. My second question is, if me and my buddies got into a fight at the bar, or if we got pulled over and one of my buddies had some cannabis on them, we would all be charged, okay? So what about all of the other officers that were in that video? Are they still actively serving the actions of the police force? Or are you having a pre-disciplinary conference with them so that their jobs, or I don't want to really advocate for anyone losing their job, okay?
I do.
But there needs to be something that happens, whether that be training, discipline, because it's not right. And so they should be held to the same standard, especially as professionals who are under oath supposed to protect and serve us, and so that we as citizens are. So if you would just answer that, Chief.
What I can tell you is that training and discipline happens teamwork. Just
Turn it up.
Thank you.
Training happens all the time.
Repeat your answer. So,
my answer is that training and discipline occurred to more than just the officer who was involved in this case.
Oh, wow.
And who disciplined
I thought you said the officer was reassigned to another training officer.
That's the training.
More than just
he's been real. It's all conditioning. We all have been conditioned. People that look like me, we've been conditioned. All of us can tell you from the moment we got our driver's license, our parents took us out on the road. If you ever get pulled over, what do? Keep your hands on the wheel. Go ahead and roll your windows down. Turn the radio off. Say yes, sir, or no, sir, and keep it really simple. See, we've been conditioned to respond to authorities. And you've been conditioned too. My pale-faced people. You've been conditioned. You've been conditioned to see people like me or people like him as a threat. You've been conditioned to see brown faces as an enemy. And that makes it hard for you to do your job. See, I'm not envious of your job, and I really don't fault you because you have been trained and conditioned to chase us down and to look at us like we're the enemy. Amen. So here's my question for you.
Amen.
In the trainings that you're going to develop.
No, they've already been trained.
Wait a minute. In the trainings that's going to be developed, we don't need any more policies. As much as I love policies and writing manuals, that's all well and good. But we're going to be right back to this spot, a reactionary position. I need you all to look at it like our parents did, teaching us how to drive, being proactive. You know you're going to get pulled over. So let's just go ahead and be mindful of that. So in the conditioning and training your police officers, how are you going to train them to see me not as a threat?
She sees us that way.
She's going to answer the question.
I hear what you're saying. We do training on a regular basis all the time.
Yeah, so that's not the answer.
Do the right thing. All right? And I'm going to tell you straight up. I'm 100% responsible and accountable for what happened in this agency. Absolutely 100%. Okay? I'm not pointing fingers at anyone else. I'm not playing the blame game or throwing other people under the bus. I hear what you're saying. We have worked really hard to try to improve what we're doing and to change the mindset of our officers to treat you the way you deserve to be treated.
Oh, you treat
okay?
you.
That work takes time and we're trying to.
No, it takes firing people and charging them with criminal charges.
Yeah! And the officer is gone. And what I should do. Okay, I think that's but look, all I'm telling you is, I hear you. I'm willing to work with you to come up with whatever training you think is needed.
Fire them and charge them with criminal charges.
I'm certain that's going to happen.
You certain? Okay, shit. Y'all say y'all wait too long to do the check criminal charges.
Can I come help you make them policies? Let me come up there and help you.
Exactly.
We're going to speak to the wall.
Yeah, that's what we're talking about.
So after I finish, I want to see my time.
No, I'm going to be silent for right now.
All right, that's cool. So I got one question. I'm really quick. I'm a social worker in the agency that I work in a lot of different ways. Folks in leadership are held accountable. So I want to know, like, do you plan to resign? Because I feel like that's something that would hold you accountable for what happened in the group. But I appreciate the fact that you said you're holding yourself accountable. But the best way to hold yourself accountable is to step aside and revisit and look at what the leadership is. Because policies change all day, trainings change all day. It's leadership that makes that happen. And you show, in my opinion, you show poor leadership with the decisions you make.
Yes, absolutely.
And then I look to the other leaders in our community that are here tonight. I want you to have a conversation. I want you to engage with us here and ask if Chief Hooper decides not to resign, how are you going to hold Chief Hooper accountable? What does that look like?
Exactly.
So, once again, no ill will, you said. But I want to know, answer the question. Do you plan to resign based on the handling of the situation?
You know what a black person out there is so
I'm happy to resign if that's going to solve the problem.
But it won't! It's the department, it's not the figurehead.
Bitch come out right outside. Talking all that shit. And I love my cohorts.
I done already talked to him. I had to talk with him Monday. Talking to him ain't gonna make it no better. So I'm gonna be quiet.
We need to change. No, her retirement ain't gonna solve it. We need to change no matter who's city chief, no matter who's mayor, no matter. We gotta have changes that go everywhere.
It was not apparent that they were implemented. And I think we need to have some transparency and some oversight, and people, citizens involved, looking at what's happening in the police department. We need groups that have some oversight and
Jonathan Robert.
More than information to the city council.
Jonathan.
With you, working with you to make sure that what your job is happens, and that your responsibility for seeing the right thing that happens, that they support you in that, and holding you accountable.
Hey, Jonathan, let Chris talk because he's gonna tell the truth about this.
I am aware that Charlotte and Greensboro have citizens advisory groups that work with the police department. They are doing that. That is something that we can do. We need to have people involved, citizens involved, working with you to make sure that all of us in the community that we want to have. And I will ask that the Citizens Advisory Council, Citizens Police Advisory, whatever you are, Cpac, that you recommend to the City Council very strongly that we have such a group working with our police department.
Because I can't do shit for black folks.
An appropriate recommendation, and I would like to propose that
for white money,
recommend to City Council that City Council will direct the City Attorney's Office to research the authority that Greensboro and Charlotte have for a review process that involves citizens and report back to council on those findings. That requires I would make it following
I'll be that bitch.
so that
Talk about
I would
beat your ass
see
over
with some specific follow-up step. I offer that as a proposal, and do I have a second?
Nobody want to hear her ass.
Sean, second. Well, excuse me, Mr. Holt, it isn't an official meeting. It was official.
That's assault. But you know what? That's assault.
It is an official meeting, and therefore I think the proposal offered and seconded is an appropriate one.
He's a bitch. That's what he is. A bitch. A bitch. That's a bitch. Now you see what they do.
Public comment time. It's not time for business.
Excuse me,
Public comment time.
Let other people talk.
Public comment time. You do your business after you've heard from us.
Yeah.
You do your business after we've spoken.
Larry Holt's a misogynist. Misogynist
You are allowed to have the Cpac entertain.
You are out of order.
Misogynist.
Misogynistic bastard, me too.
Point of order. Out of order.
Me too.
You won't have any authority anymore. What the recommendation is from council?
I'll take it concern. They're duly noted, but I think this one time people really just want to talk. So let's get
Yes! I don't want to hear shit Rondell got to say. He needs to sit his ass down. What the hell he doing over here? Who the hell brought him over here?
No.
Go with it, Chris. Go right now. Man, go now.
Let's listen. All right. Let's for another.
Go right over there. Please give it to the ex-vice mayor. Give it to the ex-vice mayor.
I'm gonna give the mic to Chris Peterson.
Yeah. The ex-vice mayor.
And then I'm taking it
And I brought him here for a reason.
Okay.
He's here for a reason.
You know, I've been kicked out of meetings before. You know what? You ain't gonna hear the truth up here.
We're going back and forth, side to side.
I was vice mayor.
I brought him here for a reason.
He was in line, Mike.
Can you stop?
Yeah, ready?
Chief Hooper, if you're trying to tell me as a vice mayor that you did not go to Gary Jackson with this dynamite explosive and you went to the assistant city manager, because I'll tell you why you didn't do it. Because Gary said, I'm retired and I'm getting a big fat paycheck and I'm out of here and you need to take this to him, and you can't tell me that Gary Jackson, and where is the mayor?
Nowhere to be seen.
Yeah.
Nowhere.
You knew it. You were running for re-election. This was a hot button. You knew you'd probably get beat. Gary was gone out the door. Protocol would have been, if I was on council.
That's right.
Okay, this is protocol. Chief of police goes to Gary Jackson. Gary Jackson hires and fires
That's
her.
why I brought him
She
here.
was brought here to clean this town
That's why I
up.
brought him here.
Your story does not go.
I
I'm
don't
sorry. I don't know you, but I'm telling you, I know what I was up there with. You'd have been fired immediately. Gary Jackson covered this up. He's out the door. He's going to be gone in 3 weeks. He's getting over a six-figure deal that he cut with the mayor, so they both keep quiet.
Yeah.
She was running for re-election.
That's why I brought him here. That's why you here,
all her puppets that were with her. Now, where's Robin Curran?
Well,
you didn't think to bring the city attorney $1.2 million budget? This story stinks so bad, and it starts right there. You need to tell the truth, Chief. If you tell the truth, I would say you probably need to stay. But you know you did not go to a deputy assistant city manager. Gary's sitting there and the mayor's sitting there. And I might add, Miss Mayor, you brought that city attorney with you from Raleigh. You got her that job. She's your best friend. She knew for 6 months and she didn't tell you. This is a bunch of hogwash. I'll tell you what. Fire him. He's got his money. He was going to get all the blame 6 months when it came unraveled. It came unraveled. Guess what? You need to get fired. The chief needs to get fired. The city manager, the 2 assistant city managers, and for sure, our city attorney, Robin Curran, she's as crooked as you can get. That's why the black community always gets bulldozed by this bullshit. You know what? The next time, they all need to go, and let's get some people in there. And where was city? Why didn't city council? Why didn't city council, when all of a sudden they all learned about it, including you, Mayor, 6 months ago, why didn't you go, Gary, come in here. You need
Here's
to
your
tell
vice
us,
mayor.
were you
Former
covering
vice
up?
mayor.
Why did we not learn for 6 months? Y'all are all guilty. It was an election year. You won, and good for you, because you're the worst mayor we've ever had. Take the money and he's gonna be gone.
Run! And leave our black asses looking like stupid.
Been had. We've all been had.
Definitely. Appreciate it. Now, tell the truth, Chris, and shame the devil.
True.
It's the truth and shame the devil. And you know what? You're a Republican who told the goddamn truth. Hot damn it. Now, bipartisan my ass.
I'm the president of the Fraternal Order Place.
Oh, shit. Nobody wants to hear Terrence.
I'm here to represent
Terrence. No, that's another Terrence.
Next, I'm here to represent the men and women of the Asheville Police Department.
Oh, kiss
who are members of our lodge. Since Thursday night
at our meeting at our lodge, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I was downtown. I talked to so many officers. Every officer I talked to,
Terrence for sure.
Myself are so disappointed in what we seen in that video.
Oh, really?
We thought it was disgusting with what took place in that video. It broke my heart.
I bring this shit.
It broke my heart for the men and women of the police department. Because that is not who they are. Chris Hickman.
Man, get the hell out of here, man.
Chris Hickman has issues, and that was revealed that night.
You got some too. Hell, you got some.
And so everything is his fault. I talked to the officers, I said, from the next week or so,
You're saying this shit because you're running for sheriff. Nobody want to hear his
Chris
shit.
Hickman. When the public see you, they see Chris Hickman. You're Chris Hickman.
He's running for sheriff. What the hell? He's been doing shit for the whole time he been. He worked in the desk. What is Terrence talking? What is Terrence talking about?
Is don't judge the rest of those officers there because of Chris Hickman.
I'm judging you, Terrence, because Terrence is Terrence.
What about the
Terrence?
Other officers are young officers that were just there. It's Chris Hickman's place. Let me say this too.
They got a mind of their own. They know how to tell right from wrong.
I'm so sick of these
I have not talked to the chief, called her or anything. But when I heard what happened, I said, where's Chris Hickman? I said, the chief took him off the road, took his gun. I said, it looks to be serious. She said, I'm worried. He's done my duty. I commend the chief for what he's done. But I'm saying this, if you have any more meetings, I'd like to be on it. I've talked to Dee. I've talked to Dolores. I've talked to Robert.
It's insulting. Apologies are insulting.
And so all I'm saying is you let me together. Thank you, God bless you. I love everybody. Thank you.
I hope we're not.
And I want to complain against Officer Chris Hickman last summer when he talked to me and treated me like a dog and talked to my grandson.
Tell the truth.
And this was at the park, Recreation Park. I know my grandsons have mouths too.
That's what I'm talking about.
And I got them by the way they said to me. But I had to calm them down. I wrote a complaint to some of the other officers with them, and they did not take his side. They asked them to calm down the situation. But I told them he needed to go to the training, sensitivity training, because he was a racist and prejudiced. And I did not want nothing from him. And I did not want him to come to me and apologize because he wouldn't do it anyway. And show what he loved me.
That's what I'm talking about. All this is food.
So that's what they knew about this.
I wish somebody
so
would
they had handled that back then, this wouldn't have happened.
Yeah. Yes, ma'am. I'm just screaming to keep myself. Yeah. Tell the truth.
You got it.
Who is that? One is a statement on behalf of the Beloved organization. For our homeless voice group, we are here to stand in support and solidarity with Mr. Johnny Rush. I'm sorry. We are here to stand in support of Mr. Johnny Rush and speak out our outrage publicly. We also stand in solidarity with our peers in the community who are targeted for over-policing, especially those in the African-American and Latinx community. In our very bodies, we represent those who are susceptible to
did it so
We are
black
African
people can see
American,
who's down
Latinx
and
people
who's
who
not.
live in poverty, experiencing homelessness. Homeless voices have been challenging broken windows policing for over a year and a half now. We've done this working, pulling police data, speaking with our city staff, elected officials, and attending public safety committee meetings seeking policy change with our housing, not handcuffs campaign. We've seen thousands of people in our community stop wearing a backpack, somehow have been homeless, or being with the color of their skin is a minor offense for trespassing and jaywalking. The racist and classist behavior governing the streets of Asheville and consigning people into this perpetual second-class status and their charges, making it more difficult for them to find housing and jobs.
All these people don't do nothing talking.
We will no longer stand by the targets
should be smiling and
of state violence and oppression. Enough is enough. We want sweeping changes in Asheville. We are tired of coming to meetings for over a year and a half with no results. We are tired of simple, cost-saving policies. I'm sorry, we are tired of our simple, cost-saving policies. I'm sorry. It's the batteries.
Yeah.
Thank you, cuz. That was Al.
Yeah.
That's Al. That's Al Green. Real black man.
Speak, black man. Speak, black man.
Say it, cuz. Tell him, cuz. We ain't come here for nothing.
We are tired of our simple, we are tired of simple and cost-saving policies being suggested and being ignored. We are tired of people dying on the streets to pay for this oppression at the hands of the police.
Yes.
Right. Is that working?
Talk doesn't have much of it.
They pick and choose who they want to hear.
Yeah.
Pick and choose who you want to hear.
Pick somebody with a theatrically trained voice.
Girl, yeah.
That don't need a mic. To cut the police budget and fund the people. Housing for all, childcare, healthcare, mental health care and wellness.
That's right.
Jobs, youth security, education, and support for our youth.
Yes.
Police brutality has clearly hit a level that can only be described as ferociously animalistic.
Yes!
What it looks like is a bunch of uneducated, violently conditioned, bored children with too much unwritten authority exercised with weapons and maneuvers unnecessary to the task.
Right?
In a nutshell, you're not qualified to protect anything.
Yep, now you're in the sales.
What you were doing, while you were doing the job,
If you're in the hood, snitching on your hood, I don't know
clear poor folk out of Asheville. You are next.
Yeah.
Enjoy your gentrified commute.
I'm coming for this shit today. I did this shit for a
Before
reason
you
over
go,
here. I ain't do this shit for no
to
reason.
work together.
I did this for a reason over here. These people
Before
are
you
here
go,
for a reason. I
want
brought them
to
out
work
here.
together.
I did this.
I want my city, the city of Asheville, to lead by example.
Yes.
I want my city
I ain't
to
fucking
know and
day.
respect its indigenous people before tourists.
I gotta work. We already did that. Remember, I called that yesterday. We're on the board.
I want to see some arrests. I want all these people to pay back the money we paid them to brutalize our. I want the police to stop terrorizing a nation of minorities.
Much since goddamn football season, 1995.
Again, I want Asheville to lead by example.
That's why I brought Al here. You know, Al my cousin. We're gonna fall out, but at the end of the day,
we're waiting for you. And what are you
see where
waiting
you standing at, don't you?
Come down here.
Things that happen in our community. And it's the same old thing over and over again. We are the ones that keep getting hurt in the end. And one thing that we as African Americans in our community need to do is get out and vote. Because a lot of these positions police chief is appointed by who?
The city manager, not an elected official.
So it's not an elected official, but who puts the city manager in his place?
The council, the city manager and the council.
So we vote to put city council in their position. That's what it all boils down
We
to.
keep getting the same old thing.
And if we don't get out and vote and put people in position to not have what we have going on now, because it's been corrupt since I've been in this world. So it didn't start with Chief Hooper.
Put D in office.
And it didn't start with
They don't want
Put D in office.
No, they don't want D, honey. Miss D don't play.
D had her chance and she ran
and D knew she wasn't gonna make it, but
and
I
they
made
hid this so D couldn't win.
So while I have my little 3 minutes, I'd like to finish with what I have to say.
Go ahead, sister.
So again, we have to get out and vote. Right now, currently this month, every Tuesday, we have a Civics 101 class at the Eddington Center from 6 to 7:30. Please tell somebody, preferably from the African American community, because those are the ones that are always left out and don't really understand how the local government works. And until they learn that, how the local government works, then we're going to keep having these types of things happening behind the scenes in the city council and wherever. But we have to get out and put people in position and get them out to vote. I'm not going to come here and bash people. I had my moment with Chief Hooper on Monday to really express how I felt, and she understands that. But sitting here, hooping and hollering and trying to overtalk each other is not going to solve the problem. And it's not going to happen overnight. So we as citizens of the city of Asheville, tax-paying citizens, we have so much power in punching the ballot. And that's what it all boils down to, is getting out and taking an African American out and explaining to them how the local government works.
Let's get them out.
That's my little 2 cents, and y'all have a good night.
They're gonna go. Oh, the free. I think one of my frustrations and concerns is that it took 5 months to initiate a criminal investigation.
Yes.
Now, I understand that you were doing a personnel investigation, but a criminal investigation could have been done simultaneously. What I'm wondering is why it took 5 months to initiate a criminal investigation.
Ain't nobody cared. They covered it up.
And the city council covered it up. The
Yeah.
people they put in office covered it up. From Shanika to Keith to every last one of them. They did it all. They did it all. Our own black people sold us out.
That's just too long.
Our black elected officials sold us out.
Moving forward, I can change that policy to make sure that anytime there's an excessive force complaint, we do it as a criminal right after that. Just hasn't been the best way is the policy now. I'm saying that moving forward, we can make that change to make sure it doesn't happen this way.
You should have listened to us 3 years ago, Chief. Told you that 3 years ago. Now I keep hollering. Nobody told police me.
It's apparent that that was criminal. Now, the person may have been a criminal investigation. And we don't understand, you apologize, but we don't understand why it wasn't initiated and why it was started simultaneously.
Again, the actions that I took are the ones that have been taken every single time one of these complaints has come in since before I was here in this position. I can obviously tell you that I'm sorry that it was that way.
Cover up.
But that means nothing to you right now.
Cover up.
What I'm telling you is I can change that in the future, but I can't change what's already done. Okay?
So she feeds off of this shit about voting because she knows that she can't go until you vote him out. That's why she's so comfortable. I got the memos for what these elected officials said. I told you, that's why I brought Chris here. I begged him to come, and I meant that. And I keep doing this. But wait till they see what these black folks did. Why don't they hear what Shanika and Keith did? Wait till they see what them black folks did to us.
Go ahead, jump in.
My name is Terrence Baker. I'm a young black male. 2 things. One, I'm not afraid of you. too. I love my people.
All right.
There's only a few things in history that's worked out for black people. Sit-ins, by any means necessary. The Black Panther Party for self-defense. Black Lives Matter. And honestly, I don't think that you guys are going to do anything beneficial for us whatsoever. If anyone in our community wants to talk about what we can do about this, come find me. You go back to police. Get up to the mic then. Take it.
Take it. Take it. Take it. Take it. Take it. Give it to D. Williams. Let D. Williams talk.
Go ahead, honey, jump in. Say what you got to say.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
So I just wanted to make it clear that
Nah, everybody want to run now.
apparently I'm African American, and I don't think it's right that I feel, or I don't feel safe in my own community, and I don't know if I will wake up tomorrow and be like, oh, is this when I'm going to get beat up by the cops, or is this when I'm going to get shot? So I just want to make that clear.
Keep the mic on. Just keep it on. Turn it
Hello. Well, I'll speak with the voice that God gave me. Let me say this, please. In spite of these good people maybe being of goodwill here, this is only an advisory committee. They have no authority to do anything. All they can do is recommend. I suggest to you, ladies and gentlemen, that the elephant in this room and the big question that has not been addressed is, what did you know and when did you know it?
That's right.
Now,
that's why we brought them here.
If we're talking about transparency,
what happened with
if we're talking about transparency,
the black ones
this is blinding to me. You know what we have here is right out of the movie of Cool Hand Luke. What we have here is a failure to communicate.
That's right.
Now, to put it very simply, it is very difficult for me, maybe not for anybody else, but it's very difficult for me to believe that when this incident occurred, I know in my heart of hearts and after 80 years on this good earth, that the chief of police went to Gary Jackson, the city manager. And for the reasons that Chris pointed out, Chris Peterson, he was a hot potato and he passed it on down to a deputy.
That's
city
right.
manager.
That's
now,
right.
For anyone to believe that the city attorney did not know about this is incredible. And now they're saying that they passed it on down to an assistant city attorney. Now there's something that is wrong with this picture, and what's wrong with this picture is that no one is admitting the fact that it was election time.
Yes!
And what we have here is a hot potato, a dynamite, that had to be covered up.
Yep.
And your so-called Asheville Times doesn't have the guts to report it.
That's right.
They're keeping you in the dark, and that's why we are where we are. This session here is merely an opportunity for you to blow off steam.
That's right.
But the time to come is when you have people running for election like D. Williams, and decide who you're going to vote for. And you've got to go to city council meetings, and you've got to hear what they're doing with your taxes, with your money, how they're misspending it. And if I sound like I'm an old angry man, I guess I am.
That's right. And y'all made us sell our people out for other people. I'm so mad right now.
Okay. Is this mic on?
Yeah, cut it on. You better cut something up, because she can holler. You don't need a mic, Mom.
So, I'm D. Williams, and let me just
say, I want to tell the truth tonight. This city has a penchant for selecting people not based on ability, just based on acquiescence.
Keep the mic to your mouth, Mom.
Can you hear?
Keep it up to your mouth, because I want them to hear what you got to say. Tell the truth and shame the devil.
I do want to tell the truth. I'm from here.
Tell it.
I have nothing to hide, and I'm 100% vested in the city. One of the things that you need to know is that a small group of people run the city. Okay? If you are not of that ilk
to do what you're told, you are penalized, you are ostracized,
blackballed.
you are blackballed.
Amen.
And just because you tell people they can sit on committees, they'll never get selected.
That's right.
Never, ever. Okay, so the big elephant in the room is a cover-up, y'all. It had
Corruption.
to be. I hate that this gentleman got beat, but he's not the first one and he won't be the last.
That's right.
Not unless we do something decisive. We have got to stop talking so much and start doing. As far as black people in this city, one of the things that is wrong with us is that we settle for crumbs and sell each other out.
That's right.
Right now, whoever you are, and you ain't in no better shape than me, and I'm damn near 70. You got that? Do whatever you want. I'm going to tell you that one of the things that holds the black community back is the fact that we take these jobs, these crumbs, and we'll do anything.
For $1.
We'll do anything for $1. It's hurt all of us. Since 1968, when the first African American was elected to Asheville City Council, we began losing property, we began losing businesses, and that's when urban renewal.
That's right.
And the first
Tell the truth.
was elected, and they told us that we needed renovations and that they would make things better.
And they did shit.
We have no respect. It's evidenced by what this officer said to that gentleman. No respect. Call him bro. He didn't know this man. And then the thing about it is, we all know this. This has happened before, and yet we fail to hold people accountable. We fail to do that. Let me just say this. I've worked in this community all my life. All my life. I've run and stood for election a lot of times. A lot of things that I told y'all, from them taking the block over or whatever, you didn't hear me when I hollered, did you? Are you going to hear me when I holler now? You see, the thing about it is that we look for other people to validate who we are. We really do. I know one of the things that I disagreed with, and I tried to work with the chief and the city, is that we looked at the data. The data is fine. But the thing about it is when you use predictive policing, there's a lot of racial prejudice that comes out with that. That's just a computer you teach how to be racist.
Keep the mic to your mouth,
people are going to die. There are going to be more and more people that get beaten and get hurt and get killed. Because when people are talking, most of the time, when we're working on these committees, we're not listened to. You need to know that. We're told pretty much that they're going to patrol our neighborhoods based on where we think we have high crime statistics. And it's always black neighborhoods. And every time people go in those neighborhoods, our people get hurt. And then we sit here and we come to these meetings over and over again. Let me tell y'all something. There's a lot of people in this room that don't like me. And I don't like you either.
That's right. I love you. I know that's right.
If you want to debate civics, if you want to debate
come see us come see us on the street. See us on the street. See us on the street.
I'm never going to be quiet about my people. You don't have the price of $1 in your pocket to make me stop.
Amen.
You can kill me, but you damn sure can't eat me.
Because I'm going to come right behind.
I'm going to sit down
coming right behind.
I got a call about this gentleman after the fact. About 2 weeks ago.
Tell the truth.
They
were watching who?
Who he was. They said it was a cover-up. They said everybody knew about it. They told me I was under surveillance.
And who else? And who else? And who else, mama?
Both of us.
They was watching us.
They said
I told you gonna find out about something today.
But you know what? When you do this,
now what was y'all at?
She just got to have a good heart, and you got to be clean, and you got to be straight.
They ain't got nothing on us.
I'm going to say this in closing.
Yeah, tell the truth.
There's some of us
you know.
Who, let me tell y'all this. A lot of y'all don't know this. I was the first black valedictorian at Asheville High. A lot of y'all don't know this. Don't be fooled, y'all. A lot of these people that you
they been harassing
us. For you. They might look like us, but one thing about it is
they not us.
Today, what have they done for us?
We're
in worse shape economically than we ever have been. Our black children have the widest achievement gap with their white African Americans in the state. What do we got to be thankful?
Nobody wants to talk about what happened. They knew because they've been watching us.
Your life gets longer, your children learn more. So the thing about it is that what is it going to take for us to change it? If y'all want to change it, I'm with you. If you don't, you can go to hell.
They don't want to hear about how they knew because they called us up about it.
Oh yeah,
they called us. They called us. They called us. They told us that this woman had us under investigation. Using our tax dollars to surveillance us.
Could you explain to me what that is?
The force whistleblower, that investigation. We didn't know what was going on.
Very antiquated methodology in which, during past times, police have looked at how people enforce where it falls on a continuum from starting with the officer's presence up through lethal force. All the things that go into that. We don't use that anymore. We have to use.
Can I ask you a question, Chief? Is it true or is it not that you and your officers had me, Amy Cantrell, and D. Williams under surveillance with your taxpayer money? Is that the truth or is it not? I hear what you're saying, but I'm telling you, your whistleblower at the department called us up and said specifically that we were under surveillance by you.
And every time I go to see Dolores, there's a police car down at the bottom of the hill where she lives.
Watching me. I can't even walk out my house. I can't even walk out my house.
It shouldn't be. You're the chief. You're the chief. You're the chief.
Pretty sure I answered your question about these.
I gotta go. I can't live here no more.
We don't use it. It doesn't fall anywhere.
How is it valuable? What would it have taken for that officer to leave off the street unpaid and suspended and or fired? What would that incident had to have looked like for that to have happened?
For that to happen, there would have to be a complete change in the city's policy on how we deal with people that go out on administrative duties or investigative suspension. We don't have the opportunity
Turn her mic
in
off.
this city to
Turn her
put
mic
people
off.
out without pay. We just don't. No. It's not like decisions. We look at how we get into those policies, change those policies, or try to look at how we can have input into the civil service law as it exists.
I don't want to have nothing to do with nothing else here. I'm done. I came here to tell that truth and that's it. You use tax dollars to surveillance something when you arrest her in a car.
There's no mechanism in which he did not pay.
She's shaking. She's so bad.
That's basically
It's sister, you staying right there. Don't you go nowhere. Don't go nowhere. Don't you go nowhere. Don't go nowhere. You staying right where you at.
I have a question, please. In terms of the brutal beating that gentleman was subjected to, how does it compare to a hate crime?
right. And that's a very good question.
Yes, it is.
And I would think that when the district attorney evaluates all the charges that he could bring,
I'm tired of him too. I'm tired of him.
Don't go nowhere. Stay where you at. They tired. It's tired. No, it's time for the truth.
You know, I know with police officers, it's hard to determine, you know, where their heart is. So a lot of times with police officers, they feel entitled that they can treat a black person any kind of way they want to because they are a police officer. So in terms of screening them, how do you go about that? Because that's what's happening. Not only in Asheville, but everywhere else. Because as a police officer, you feel that you have the right of way. You feel that you aren't going to be reprimanded. You think you can do this and get away with it, just as it has been. just as it was done now.
On us.
Go ahead on A.
Anybody else want to speak to that?
That's what
What I tell you in response to that is that how we process our officers in terms of psychological screening at this time is probably very different from how it was done 10 years ago, 5 years ago, 20 years ago. We do the best job we can to determine that people do not have
and no black person had our back other than the organizations that we work for. So we told them about this.
certainly they miss something,
This is egregious.
but we try to do our due diligence.
That's why I know it's not a lot.
I believe that the process that we have right now, which is readily available to look at, this one in which that's exactly what we want to try to do. Make sure that our officers aren't out there trying to protect people. They just want to be out there working in the community.
Yes, every last one of them. Every last one, not going to say every last one. And you see, there are some that are highly racial, highly prejudiced, have hate, and they need to be a police officer because it's their way of exercising it. And they get away with it.
I didn't come here planning to speak, but as I have been here since 6 o'clock, all I can do is think about my nephew. My nephew is 8. He loves chicken nuggets and fire trucks and ice cream and hugging me and being the cutest, sweetest little kid he could possibly be. My nephew is also a little black boy. And I know that a lot of police, when they interact with our youth, their first thing is, well, I thought this 14-year-old boy was 21, so that's why I handled the situation the way I handled it. So right now, I'm sitting here and all I can do is think about all of the youth in Asheville who get harassed by the police for just walking down the street, specifically the black boys, because of the way they look. They're 14, 6'2", and you're like, what is that big black man doing walking down the street existing? And I'm also thinking about this footage and why police footage is not automatically reviewed unless something happens. And so I agree with so many things that other people have said, but I'm also wondering, what are we going to do about that? Is there going to be are y'all looking to review all police footage as it comes in? I know that's a task, I know that's a long process, but it seems like these things are only reviewed when something happens. And then even Officer Hickman, when his footage was reviewed, it was showed that 4 other incidents had occurred. So if that footage, if this wanted to happen, his footage would have never been reviewed and y'all wouldn't have known that those 4 other incidents had occurred. And also, I'm not trying to put you on blast, Keith, but I just want to echo what Carol said, and I just want to, I know there's other people in here who sit on City Council. Sunday, I sent y'all an email about House Bill DRH 4010 MS 42. And it's a House bill that was being pushed last year by Charlotte and Durham and Greensboro, who all are able to have citizens review boards that are able to view police footage. And so what I'm asking is that if the city really wants to apologize, I'm going to need y'all to crew up with Charlotte and Durham and Greensboro. I'm going to need y'all to fight on a state level, so all cities in North Carolina can also have those citizens review boards where folks can actually review tapes other than the officers and the people involved. I know we go and fight the state when it comes to environmental issues, which are important, but my life is important. Black lives are important.
I'm sorry.
And I didn't want to tell this story, but I'm going to. But I'm 28, and this incident that I'm about to tell you happened when I was 19. If I knew what I knew now, then I would have handled the situation a lot different.
But I was 19 and I was sitting outside of my mom's house in an SUV with one of my friends who happens to be a black man. We're sitting outside and one of my mom's neighbors decides to come out and she's staring at the car for a little bit and we already knew what was gonna happen. We're like, might as well just sit here. About 5 minutes later, the K9 unit and some backup rolled up on us. It was 2 in the morning. They said, what are y'all doing here? And I said, well, my mom lives here. The officer asked for my friend's ID. Because my mom lived there, my stuff was in the house, so I didn't have my ID on me. The police officer was like, I need to see your ID. I'm like, it's inside. And they're like, well, we need to follow you into your house so you can go get your ID. And the first thing I said was, okay, but I have a dog and my dog is going to jump on you, so you should probably be warned because I'm not trying to have y'all shoot up my house because my dog jumped on me. And then checked my ID, realized that neither one of us had warrants, and then the officer said to me, next time y'all want to talk at 2 a.m., y'all can go to Denny's. So for me, that moment was very clear that existing while black is a crime in Asheville. And I just want to ask anybody in this room who is not a person of color, please raise your hand if you have ever jaywalked.
I'm furious, I'm upset, I am heartbroken that Mr. Johnny Rush was assaulted by police officers here in Asheville, North Carolina. I'm also ashamed because I did not know the depth and the severity of the racism and the disrespect that the police officers are treating people of color in this city. It makes me sick. I'm a person who believes in equality and treating every human being with dignity and respect. And I want this to change. It's time for change. And I'm going to work for change. I don't think it matters who the chief of police is, or who the mayor is, or who the city manager is. We need to have change. It needs to be law change. It needs to be policy change. And we need to have change in the police academy to weed out or racist, Nazi, bigot thugs that are attacking black men and women in this community. We need to change now. We need specific policies, laws, and we need changes in the police academy to weed out these people through psychological testing, through real-world trials. We've got to get these people off the police force, and the time to do it is now. And one more thing to say. Why is Officer Ruggiero not fired and not in jail? Both of these people, Hickman and Ruggiero, should be in jail for assault, for physical abuse, and mental abuse for Mr. Johnny Rush. They should be in jail.
I want to give anybody else the opportunity to speak. Is there anybody else that would like to say something?
Hey, y'all. My name is John, and I actually live right up here at the top of the hill on Aura Street. This is my neighborhood.
Yes, sir.
Last fall, I walked right into this community center, and I voted for Ms. D. Williams. I truly wonder how many more people might have voted for you
if they knew the
this
truth.
News had come out last fall.
That's the truth.
And
they knew about it too. All the council people, just like everything, they knew what happened. We knew what happened. So they knew too. We got the memo and we're going to send it to the media. Now let's see how they love their black persons and their kings now.
It looks like
tell the truth and shame on
it's printed. You can get a copy of it. It's city manager, and over top of the city manager is the city council. And then over top of that are you, ladies and gentlemen, the people of Asheville. You are the folks who run this town.
Back there because he's pissed off.
No, well, let's talk about this, right? Let's talk about this.
I'm sorry.
I imagine for a lot of you, this is the first time you've ever been on the Cpac.
They want to know about what we say.
So let me take just 2 seconds to tell you a story about the first time I ever came to Cpac.
They sold us out.
They used to be held inside the police department at 3:30 in the afternoon. Okay? Tell me, who can make it to something at 3:30 in the afternoon? If you work a service industry, you're likely at your job by then. And if you work an office job, you haven't gotten that yet. So you can't go to a meeting like that unless you take a day off, right? There's that. So I went to one after I had a really unfortunate incident with an actual police officer, and I wanted to just see what Cpac was all about. Now, it took a lot for me to put on a collared shirt and walk up inside the police department after I had gotten smacked around the basketball. But I did it. And I walked into that room.
Look, everybody leaving now.
Everybody in there looked at me crazy because I was the only citizen in the entire room that day. And Cpac didn't look like it does now. There were only 5 members, and through the hard work of a lot of local activists like Carol herself here, we added diversity to Cpac, we put more members on Cpac, we put additional folks, people of color, people from housing, and due to that, we expanded the potential of this board to actually serve as a check and balance on our police department. Or so we thought, because as soon as that happened, Gary Jackson in the city manager's office started to move the goalposts on us. Okay? Y'all remember Officer Oza? Shayla Oza? The dude who decided that it was a really good idea to point an AR-15 at the 12 girls? Yes. Alright, because I live on Ward Street, and because I play with the neighborhood black kids in my neighborhood, because they're awesome, and we play all kinds of stuff, and they run around with BB guns. Hell, I ran around with BB guns all my life. That shit made me hot to watch a grown man point an assault rifle at children. So I came to one of those meetings, kind of like tonight. It was less people. It was held at the Public Works Building over on Charlotte Street. And we ripped the chief a new one, okay?
But she's still
and it was tough, and